Hello, I'm recording this on February 13th, and that means two things. I hope you all have a chance to enjoy League of Women Voters Day, and it's time for the Darkness News Update, brought to you by Evluma and their Build Your Own Acorn. Yeah, I know. Okay, so acorns are not a popular outdoor fixture for very good reasons in this sort of crowd, but I want to point out that these do, the actual globe, the actual acorn part of it is a diffuse polycarb. It keeps your glare down. And what it is it's big enough to support three different kinds of shields. So that means you are eliminating uplight. You can also use the shields to block lights to the side. This is a very customizable fixture, and that customization includes timing, dimming, color selection. This is letting you choose to build a dark sky friendly fixture. And you can visit evluma.com to learn more. Let's talk about the news. An international team of entomologists have figured out why flying insects do that thing where they circle lights. So it turns out that what these bugs do is that they have an instinct to keep their backs to a light source. So when the light source is very high above them, the sun, the moon, that keeps their attitude straight and level. But when that light source is down, it's lower, what happens is that instinct to keep their back to the light causes that orbiting, that stalling, that inverting behavior we all see at night. If you're listening to the audio version, I just used a series of hand gestures. Definitely helped amplify and illustrate this point. We've also found that mosquitoes delay or don't hibernate when exposed to alum. This is an Ohio State study of the female tiger mosquito and the female northern house mosquito. That lack of hibernation impulse also affects their egg laying. It is causing a reduction in mosquito populations. We're also seeing that light at night is changing earthworm activity, which is actually increasing ragweed. So what happens is that at night, earthworms move closer to the surface so that they can forage, so that they can find mates, and that means that they're eating the seeds and disrupting the growth of invasive ragweed. Your allergies are worse because worms can't enjoy themselves at night. That's what happened. We also have a study on mice showing that light fixtures flickering at 40 hertz. I'll try to demonstrate that in the video somehow. It's a bit hard with the frame rates, but I'll try to show that. But that means it's coming on and off 40 times a second. Actually promotes sleep, and this could lead to an insomnia treatment down the road. In the UK, the House of Lords Science and Technical Committee has called for action on light pollution. They actually issued this call in July. They're reiterating it now because we have a new government, and they're hoping that government will take action. Ghent University has embarked on a 3-year light and noise pollution study to determine the effects on biodiversity. We also have Flinders University beginning their own 3-year Circadian research study targeting the needs of shift workers. So this could lead to improvements in lighting, improvements in other care that would help people who work at night sleep better. In New Zealand, Oxford Forest has been named a dark sky park. It's not far from Christchurch on the South Island. It's the second dark sky park in New Zealand, and it covers 28,000 acres. In Shenzhen, in China, the province of China, they've passed a new dark sky standard. This is a new standard that towns can opt into to change their lighting codes, match their lighting, that will allow them to pursue dark sky status similar to the village of Shenzhen. In Lakeshore, Ontario, they've passed a new lighting bylaw, specifically a prohibition on any lighting that causes a negative impact to their neighbors. Lakeshore, Ontario is actually not far from Leamington, which has been, our big patient zero for lighting changes or changes in lighting bylaws in Ontario. Leamington had that cannabis farm that turns the skies purple at night. In Toronto, also Ontario, the City Council will be reviewing lighting rules after a TD Bank building drew complaints. This is a very tall building with very bright, very colorful facade lighting, and citizens are complaining about the brightness and color because it's visible from kilometers away. Grand Rapids, Michigan is almost done with its switch to LED street lighting, and some community members have begun to lodge complaints, but there is good news. These fixtures are already smart and they're already dimmable. This can be solved with a literal flick of a switch. In Castle Valley, Utah, they've received a recognition from DarkSky International, showing that they are a dark sky community. This is the fourth dark sky community status for Utah, and 23rd recognition program area recognized by DarkSky itself. Paonia, Colorado, has begun work on their DSI designation. They actually only needed to change about 20 fixtures, according to an audit by a DarkSky Colorado member. So let's do the backyard report now. In St. Andrews, New Brunswick, residents are pushing back on a proposed lobster facility at the neighboring Sitansisk First Nation. It's already zoned for light industry, and their plans already indicate well-shielded lighting, but the region has been using light pollution concerns to push back on this proposed facility. In Dunpender, Scotland, the locals are trying to deny a cafe a liquor license over, again, concerns about light pollution. This cafe wants to serve beer and wine until 10 p.m. In Haber Valley, Utah, residents have failed to secure the required signatures to put the LDS temple proposal on the actual ballot. So again, Haber Valley, that's Wasatch back, Utah. They've been pushing against a proposed LDS temple. One of the ways they have done that is try to move this to a public vote. That would have been on the November ballot. Vote Prop 8, vote no on Prop 8, that sort of thing. They did not reach the signature goal to make that happen. In Cody, Wyoming, LDS temple will go ahead thanks to a judge dismissing the complaint against the local planning and zoning board. In Bernards, New Jersey, 8 residents sued a baseball club to not necessarily stop what they were doing, but to change their procedure. The town had offered a 1-year trial to this baseball club to run a baseball field, tournaments, practices, the whole thing. They were then, after that, you're going to offer them a 20-year lease, and the locals tried to sue to stop this, to extend that trial period another 2 years, and they cited noise and lighting over as reasons to do that. The judge in question immediately dismissed this, and he didn't actually issue a court order, but he has issued a strong recommendation that both groups can find a compromise. And the thing about unreasonable people is that they have this alarming habit of sounding reasonable with their complaints. And it's been a privilege to work with, the Allen Action people I have, to correspond with them, to read their work. And something I want to point out is that only once have I heard one person say that the presence of light, the use of light, would be a reason to not do something on its face. And that person was perhaps a bit of a class 3 wackadoo, generally speaking. But what I have found more and more is that the phrase that we all like to use is responsible outdoor light at night. And that means it's reasonable. That means there is a rationale for the light. There will be, whether that's you switch it off after extra innings, whether that's, your security lighting depends on motion sensors, that's timers, that's dimmers. These are all things that can be done reasonably and rationally. And I really respect a lot of the people in this community for pursuing not no light, but better light, but, reasonable light. But that's just my opinion. And I hope I presented it reasonably and rationally and respectfully, except for calling that one guy a wackadoo. That was probably out of line. That's just my opinion, not necessarily related to Nailed or the LDF or Lighthead Magazine or our sponsors. They're at Evluma. They can let you build a responsible, rational, reasonable fixture by selecting the parts you need to put light where you need it, when you need it. It's evluma.com. There is a link in the description. I will see you in 2 weeks. Take care of yourself.